Hey everybody, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. The internet that disconnected, but we is back.
We had a difficulty. We had to call IT.
Technical difficulty. We had to call IT, which was me. I'm up here like, what the heck? What the heck is going on? But anywho, we got two different internet what do you call it? We can log into two different internet because I work from home. So like sometimes I'll have my kids log into one and I'll log into the other. We got two codes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like where they not running across the same thing. Well, it's kind of hard to explain.
You have too many people on there, can't it crash?
Yeah, like if you got too many people in the house, and I think because everybody's home right now. And I was on the one where everybody be on, so I had to switch over.
Can we say hi, Sarah?
Yeah. Hey, Roxanne, how you doing, sweetheart? Sorry, y'all. Sorry that it had got disconnected and everything. But anyway, we back. But as far as when Mama Sislo, which actually what's her new name now? Is Miss Sislo Networthy Update. So that's the new name now. Oh shoot, I should have went back over and told them that we started a different live. But it's too late now because it already ended, I think. Yeah, it already ended. But anyway, for those who tune in, Mama Sislo, she hit when Sam got Sam was like, hold up, wait a minute,
because I've been there with that one. All that, I mean,
when she said the passer, like the passer,
and I'm
how you up on the
don't
pulpit?
Believe disrespecting no pastors, period. I don't
right,
care, but
and I know you ain't supposed to put your. I know. You know, we both been to church a lot during our lives. And I know that you're not supposed to speak negativity upon the word, the man of God or the woman of God or, something like that. But if you're a pastor and you're not taking care of your kids and you're not paying child support and stuff like that, I'm sorry, but you own limits now. You ain't off limits. You own limits now. Because you cannot be sitting up there preaching and telling people how to be this and how to be that and do this, that, and the third when you're not even taking care of the house at home.
You ain't
right.
I
hate that. You might as well be committing adultery or stealing from the offering plate or, something like that. Because, I mean, come on. Pastors, I know they're not perfect. But a man of the cloth who just does not pay child support just does not. And again, when we was getting up
not to.
And those are actually, I mean, you could say as a pastor, you get paid under the table, right? Because ain't nobody handing you a paycheck. If it's your church, ain't nobody handing you a paycheck.
And
I mean, at least, I don't know how this modern stuff is now, but from the churches I went through when I was growing up, ain't nobody handing you a paycheck. They just you get a pastor this. They take it out the offering plate. Get a pastor this. That go to the pastor. That go to the organist. That goes to this person, to the secretary. That goes to the youth church. That goes to, the building fund. They ain't writing out no checks to everybody. They just taking the money out the offering plate. Then at the end of the year, that's when you settle everything and you do your, you do your taxes or something. If you do your taxes. So yeah, I get why, where Miss Sislo and Sam was coming from, because it's like, pastors, you are not exempt from taking care of your children, and y'all should be the ones out there telling the other men and the other women, take care of your kids,
regardless
take care of your kids,
of your situation.
Oh, Maurice, you missed it, Maurice, because the live had shut down. But yeah, Samantha went in when she was talking to Mama Sislo on the phone. Maurice said, and Maurice, you need to call in because you speaking from a man's point of view. And I know there are really really good men out there, really good
I was
fathers
gonna
who
say
take care of their
that.
kids.
That's
you
what
know?
I did. You right. You sure right. I did. And women. You know, sometimes there's reasons people want to finish their education, you know, and they might like let the dad take care of the kids at a time or the mom. But when people get straight, they get straightened out.
Yep.
But don't not sit up there and be. You supposed to be leading somebody a certain way in life and right when you not right yourself, and don't tell that child that they mom and daddy or whoever ain't the one, whoever wants to receive the child support only wants the money for themselves. That you know what? Make sure that child knows. Don't wait till the child gets grown and then want to tell. Oh, I'll tell your kid how the real you, and I'll tell them why you really wanted the money. Okay, but you can't tell them that because I bet you them sit down and run it down. But you can always tell your kids in a nice, polite way. A lot of times I lie about why the money wasn't coming, just to make it look good, and I did, you know,
because you don't want the children to hate the other parent because like the son that I have whose father owed money. I mean, he can tell you. I can call him up from his bedroom right now. He can tell you, Mama never talked bad about my father because he was also involved in their lives. And it was never a time when he said, I want to come get my son or da-da-da-da. My son darn near be on the curb waiting with his book bags, his overnight bag, his toothbrush, his do-rag,
his
and
suitcase.
I'm telling you, it was never, ever. My son's father can testify. And a lot of people on here who follow me know my son and know my father because he's kind of popular around the city. But, he has a lot of friends. So his dad is, kind of, well known around the city. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Like, well known. And I've never, ever kept him away from him. But I really didn't, want to do that because to me, as a parent who was also a child who grew up without their father, and their mother took care of them, I never got 1 cent from my dad. Not 1 penny from my dad. My mother never got 1 penny from my dad. So as a child who grew up without receiving child support or whose mom didn't receive child support, from my father, it was like, as a child, you don't know that. As a child, you don't know that because a good parent is not going to discuss child support and money and arrearages and all that kind of stuff with their child. Because when you do that, especially if the child's father is not around or the child's mother is not around, when you do that, you just piling on, the negativity on the relationship between the child and the parent. A child who already hardly doesn't see their parent and then find out they ain't even paying, they ain't put nothing on the pencils on school, they ain't put nothing on their school clothes, on their pictures, on their basketball camp, on their lights, their gas, their bedroom set. They ain't doing nothing at all. No, I never. My child, my oldest one, didn't know anything about arrearages or any of that till he was grown. When he got grown, I told him how much his father owes in child support. He was like, dang, how did we get by? And I'm like, what you mean how you got by? Did your mama not work 2 jobs most of the time? Did your mama not work at one time 3 jobs? At one time I worked 3 jobs for 3 months. It was around the holidays. And it was like literally around the time where I had got laid off because I used to do real estate. And I had got laid off, and I was just taking jobs. And some of the jobs weren't like enough they weren't comparable to the income I was used to receiving. So I worked at where did I work at? I worked at dollar stores, Dollar General, or whatever that place was. And then I had a job from like the daytime, and then I had a job in the evening time. And I think, what was I doing in the evening time? I think I was sorting mail, something like that. And then on the weekend, I worked at the Dollar General. And basically, I was like a cashier, you know, in stocking and stuff. But I did that for Christmas because I had got laid off of my good job because the economy went south, you know, back then when I told y'all on the other live that got interrupted. Around like 2007, 2008, when the economy went bad, everybody was losing their jobs in the real estate and everybody was losing their houses and all that kind of stuff. So that was around that time. And I was just applying anywhere. I didn't care because one thing about me and a lot of other parents is you could owe me $1 million in child support, but I bet you we will never go hungry. My child will never go hungry. And he will never miss a day where he's not taken care of. Now, I might have to say, okay, hon, wait till payday, you know, and I'll get you this. Or wait till payday, and I'll get you that. But we never went without. We never got evicted. I've never been evicted. I've never had any utilities off. We've been having cable for like 30, 50 years. We've been having cell phones, house phones, ADT, I mean, internet. I mean, the stuff that most people have, we were able to have because I didn't rely on that. And a lot of times people, when you buy stuff, I'm sure you probably, you know, you're familiar with this, Sam. When you buy stuff, whether you're renting a house, buying a car, renting furniture, whatever, and they ask you for all your incomes, whether I was getting child support or not getting child support at the time, I never included the child support in the application because a lot of times it says other income. And they will use that other income to determine how much you make a month and determine how much your payments will be. But child support, you cannot rely on it all the time. So I've never, whether I was renting a house, buying a car, whatever, I've always just used my income because I knew I could rely on me. I might not can rely on that child support, but I can rely on me. And that's how I did stuff like when I was a young parent. Well, no, I wasn't really a young parent. I had my first son when I was like 23. So I wasn't real young, but I was still young. And ever since then, every time I got something or tried to get something, I never used child support to determine what I could or could not pay because it's not always consistent. It's not always consistent.
I got child support from, well, I won't say I received it, but I had child support orders for both of my kids' dad. Now, my youngest son, dad, no problem. My oldest son, dad, they used to be bonus. And what I mean by that is, if it came, it came. If it didn't, it didn't. But when it did, if we needed something, and us as a unit, if we needed something, me and my two sons, what I did was, we gonna use this money. Mm-hmm. Like once it was my son's birthday, and I was cleaning out my oldest son, which the dad that owes the child support money. I was cleaning out a drawer in my room, and I ran across the child support card. I mean, actually cleaning out a drawer. I was looking for some earrings, seriously. And I saw the card, and something said, call this card. And it was almost my oldest son's birthday. And my son was showing me these different shoes that he wanted for track, because he was running track, and it was his senior year. And I said, well, most of the time I bought stuff, I did it, and I went without. Excuse me.
I know that life.
But when I called that card, they had took like almost $2,000. Well, I ain't gonna say $2,000 from that, but when I called that card, it was almost $2,000 on this card.
Hey.
And it was almost my son's birthday, like I said, which I was one of the ones paycheck to paycheck. But I would do what I said. If even if I didn't do it at the time, I came to them and I let them know, you gonna get it. They knew it, so they really never questioned me about it. But anyway, long story short, with that money was on that card, and me and my boys, no lie, my oldest son, I said, where the shoes at? And I said, listen to this. I said, you know what? We gave we gave money to the church off of it, because that's my choice and our business or whatever, But we went to the mall, and my son got the track shoes, and he was finna graduate, and they was some good expensive ones too. And what he did was, he told me, he said, after he got done with his track suit, it was a boy it was a junior in school, and he said the boy was real good at track, but his shoes went up to par. So what he gave him the shoes, and I said my son had been running track, but the shoes we got the first time, they wasn't good on his feet, because he was doing that jumping and he the hurdle thing or whatever, and he was doing other ones. So when we found out his money, we got some different shoes. The other shoes was good too, but he only wore the ones that cost most money a few times. And he ended up giving them to a boy that was going to use them the next season. Yeah. And I appreciate it. My son still like that. He got a good giving heart.
And we done that before. Shoot, my sons, even when I wasn't getting child support, my son's tennis shoes ranged from $150 to like $180.
Yeah.
All of their shoes, because they play sports. That was like a requirement of mine. You play sports, or you be in some kind of academic extracurricular activity. So if you're not in any kind of academic extracurricular activities, then you're going to be in a sports, athletic extracurricular activity. So they had their choice. They got to pick with sports, and it was usually always football and basketball. And on top of that, they did like track and wrestling. So every quarter they had to do a different sports if they weren't doing anything academically. So imagine your child, some of y'all out there, y'all know, y'all got athletic children who are in sports the beginning of the year, the summer, because they going out of town. They on basketball teams. They on those camps. Those camps. Oh, remember that time we drove to Texas? Oh my God! One time we went down to Texas, so my son could attend a football camp, and he got an award down there and everything. It was nice. But what I'm saying is, people who have kids that go through sports, you gotta pay the regular stuff, like, or even if it's cheerleading. I'm going to say cheerleading because I have nieces. And my niecey, she would hit me up, Auntie Tanya, I want to do cheerleading, and it costs, and the outfits and the shoes. I was like, dang. Cheerleading costs that much? Cheerleading costs as much as it does or more than the other things that they were doing, the other, basketball teams and, elite. That's what I was thinking of, the elite teams, the elite football teams and basketball teams, outside of the school. That stuff is expensive. Real expensive. Roxanne said, my son refused to pay. Hold up, you said, my son refused to pay child support. He said, when I see the kid, I will pay. The mama be keeping the kids hostage. Oh!
You know what? That's a good one, too. That's the one I want to talk about, too, right there. With my children, even after that, like I said, my second child, no problem. Hands down, he paid. And I give it to him. But the oldest one, But I ain't even worried about it. Because, what? It is what it is. But one thing is, I never, ever, and I did do this, and I'll be honest, I used to say I can't wait until my baby was old enough to be able to walk in and out of the house where I didn't have to go in there. He'll know my car and come out. Because I was never the type to want to make my presence known. I wasn't the type to clown them about child support, none of that stuff. But one thing I say is, I used to tell them if the dads ever would say I didn't want my kids being involved with them. Once they got old enough, I told my kids it's what they do But one thing I wasn't going to allow is nobody to hurt their feelings and talk to them and do anything like that. Now, I wasn't going to do that.
Right.
And I didn't have a problem. But like I said, with my oldest son, I just said, you know what? Whatever. But with my youngest one, one time I remember I told his grandma, I said, when you pick up one, don't worry about it, because you can pick up the other one if you want to. But I was just joking, because my other son was, you know, he was a bigger boy, and he was always spending time with my dad and my sister now. But if she would have took him, don't think I wouldn't have let her.
Said we kicked her out the whole lot. No, we didn't, Miss Sislo.
Sorry, Miss Sislo.
No, we didn't, Miss Sislo. The live got interrupted. And we had to start over. We didn't kick you out, boo. Oh, that's funny.
Out the whole thing, just gone.
She said out the whole thing. And they missed the good part too. They missed the end of Miss Sislo's conversation when her and Sam was going in about the preachers. Y'all missed that part.
Each his own, and if you pastoring or however it work, you know, whatever, being a deacon or whatever you're doing, don't sit up there and tell nobody else what to do. Right? What they say, you're supposed to sweep under your own roof or however that go. You supposed
Sweep
to
your own front porch first before you go around trying to tell somebody else about what they doing, you know, at their crib.
Even if they never speak on paying their child support. But like one thing I can say, and a lot of people might not agree, but one thing I can say, when I do go to church, the church that I attend, I do like, very often I have heard the pastor say, if you got kids out there, when you leave here today, and you could possibly see them, or you could make a way to see them, then you go see them. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that like us as parents, we done chose this person. It was something there, or something. You know, I don't care if you was stone cold drunk. I don't care what. Y'all still made a child. The child did not ask to be here, and we should all stop. And us at our ages, as we going to be grandparents or whatever, still tell our children, regardless if you ain't got nothing for this man or for this woman, y'all still got this child together. Yep, take care.
I told my sons to tell you. I told them, I said, I will disown you.
In a heartbeat.
I'm so serious. My sons, you know, we play a lot. Me and my sons have a very, very great relationship. We play a lot, but they know when I'm serious, I'm serious. It's like a very thin line. We could be playing around. You know, they call me, you know, we could be calling each other, hey, big head. You know how you play. If you, okay, I done said this before. No, for real. I done said this before. Sometimes when you're a parent, you have to remember being a child.
Right.
You have to remember. And one thing about it, when I was a child, I had a mother who was like just straight across the board. It was like she was really, 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 really religious. As religious as you could be religious. Like some of y'all might have people in y'all family like that, either mom or grandpa or uncle, just really religious. When I say really religious, like my sons, when they would go spend the night at my mom's house when they was younger, you know, stay over there, because she was like, oh, bring the kids by. As soon as we hit the door, you hear gospel music blaring, the TV on gospel, the radio on gospel, and she might be reading from the Bible at the same time. Okay, that's really religious. Ain't no watching no scary movies. Ain't watching no movies that got any kind of sexual scenes, any kind of violent scenes. Nothing like that. So basically, almost everything was off limits at my mama house, besides maybe Wheel of Fortune, the news channel, and some country westerns. So my sons would bring their video games, and sometimes we had to bring a TV, because all my mother's TVs weren't upgraded, you know, to newer TVs for them to play their video games. So sometimes they would have to bring their small TV. 2 years holier than thou, Maurice. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. One time, my mom had got into it with a neighbor, like 2 doors. No, it was like a door down. Because on the side of my mom's house, they had a really big garden. My mom and dad always garden. Every single year, no matter where we lived, they had a garden. Every year. And so, the lady, a house down, she would always let her dog loose, and the dog would come over and poop all in just all in their yard. My mom would tell her, my mom is really like, people who know me, who live in Omaha, who know me, some of y'all are watching me right now and subscribe to my channel, they can testify. My mother was always this gentle spirit. And one time I came over there and my mom was sitting on the porch. And the lady, now I was inside the house, and the lady was on her porch, and I guess her and my mom had like an incident earlier where my mom was telling her, keep your dog out of my yard, and the lady was on the porch, and she was cussing out my mom for no reason. This was like days after the situation, and she was just on her porch, just calling her all kind of names, My mom up there with the blood of Jesus, the blood of I swear right here to God. He was out there and I come outside and I'm like, what is going on? And my dad started breaking, because mind you, my mom and dad was like Whitney and Bobby without all the drugs. My dad was real cool, listened to certain kind of music, might have a beer every now and then. Didn't hardly go to church that much. My mom was like straight church girl. They was opposites, like truly opposites. So I be like, what the hell, Dad? What the fuck? I'm here. What they say? No, Tiny. No. And then my nickname was Pooh. No, Pooh. Just don't worry about what? Man, I heard that lady over there. I politely walked up to her yard. I'm like, excuse me, what you saying to my mom? Let me find out. You messing with my mom. We gonna have some problems. I said a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm not gonna say it on here. And my mom was over there like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Gotta get her.
Well, I could see her type.
I mean, you can see. She knew my mom.
Said it looked like this.
And she would just be there like, gotta get her. You know what the Bible says? The Bible says, thou shalt turn the other cheek. I'll be like,
yes, Lord.
Don't let us be in a grocery store or nowhere and somebody done cut in line or did something. My mom be like, no, Pooh. I'm like,
we're going to address this, Miss Mary, right now.
I'm like, Mama, are you sure you brought the right baby home from the hospital? Because me and my mom was totally opposite. She was always so holy roller, don't curse, don't listen to worldly music. I mean, all this kind of stuff.
Mean by
and
that?
I'm like
Worldly,
so street and so hood, and so I will bust you in the mouth, and I was like that, and she was the total opposite. I don't know how that happened.
What is that though? The one that people say
what?
Worldly. What does that mean?
No, worldly. Okay, let me break it down for y'all. For y'all who don't know, worldly means if you're a real, I won't even say a real Christian. I'll just say if you're a Christian, or Baptist or whatever, worldly music is basically blues and R&B or rap or anything that's not gospel. You said update, I'm gonna turn into slapping earth. What? Marie said I had a 2-parent household, but if my mama was getting child support, she would have gave it to Jim Baker. No, Maurice.
Did he say
Oh
Jim
God. And I don't normally put stuff on stuff. When I put stuff on stuff, that means I'm really serious. I don't know how many times my mama done sent stuff to Jim Baker. What's that other one? The one that the lady.
Tammy Faye?
Not Tammy Faye. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to think about this.
Modern lady.
I need to call my dad. I need to call my dad because my mama is up in heaven now, probably looking down at me, cracking up. She like, you ain't lying. That's my mama up in heaven right now, probably reading her Bible, sipping on a little Kool-Aid, a little Lay-Lay. and talking to Jesus, talking about she ain't lying. But
I can't think of that lady.
I can't remember the lady's name, but she was a really maybe that was her, Joyce.
Joyce Meyer.
She's white.
Yeah, but she a petite. Like she be on her now.
No, this was like 20-something years ago.
Oh,
I can't remember, but I swear
me something to it.
she sent so much money to people, and she would do it so. She'd be like, could you take me to the grocery store so I can get a like $50 money order? Because they done told me on the TV, if I send $50, I was gonna get this, and I'm gonna get that, and my mom and my dad be up there like.
It wasn't Joyce Myers, or the Maurice one.
My dad be up there. I don't know if it was Joyce Myers. It was Joyce Myers. Don't sound familiar. It was another name. But she would send so much money, and my dad would be every time he'd be up there like, because my dad, when we was, I done said this before. Anything I say on here, I'm not ashamed to say it, and I don't always tell too much. Too much personal information or anything too embarrassing to anybody I know. But my dad, being that he wasn't as super religious as my mom, he would let her do it. And he would let her do it. And Maurice, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Trust me.
But I
know what it's like. Yeah. And one thing I say about when I lost my mom, it was hard. A lot of people can tell you who knew me. It was hard. It was real hard. It was hard for me because I didn't know she was sick. She was one of those parents. When I'm talking about religion, she was one of those parents. When I say my mama was so religious, y'all, she was one of those religious parents.
Or religious people wrong with that.
Even when the doctor says you have cancer. Oh, no, I don't have cancer. In the name of Jesus, Father in heaven said I am healed and I'm free.
Lord, forgive me, Jesus.
No, I'm just keeping it a buck.
I know.
I'm just keeping it a buck.
That
was my mama. That was my mama. She did not allow them to do procedures that the doctors wanted to do, that they insisted of, and she believed that she was going to be healed. She didn't tell us. She told my father not to tell us. Me and my brothers, we didn't know. We did not know. Even sometimes I would go over my mom's house and say, Mom, why you look like you losing weight? Mom, what's going on? Is there something I need to... I would try to inquire. And she would say, oh, Pooh, I'm just on a diet. I'm on a diet. I'm like, but Mom, I'm the big girl. You don't need to lose no weight. My mama ain't never been like big. You know what I'm saying? I've always been up and down on the scale. My mother has always had a nice shape. I don't think she's ever been no more than, and she's taller than me, so I would say she's never been no more than 200 pounds. But it was a shock to me when my mom died because literally from the time I found out she had cancer to the time she passed, how long ago? Was it a month? A month and a half? It wasn't that long. It was like a month. I only had a month and a half to deal with it, to take it all in, to plan a funeral, to plan. So Maurice, I don't know what happened to your mom, the details, but yes, my mom said by his stripes I am healed, and she didn't allow the doctors to remove the cancer until I found out. When I found out that my mom was sick, it was when she was really sick one day. She fainted. My dad called us, said we're in the emergency room. I went. My brothers went. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with Mom? And I'm like, I swear to God, like I see my mom like every 2 weeks, like if not more. I was always visiting her, like always. We stayed, not that far. Yeah, I was always there and always calling her. And so, like, every time I seen her, she was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And when Dad called us and said she was in the emergency room, I was like, what is wrong with my mom? She done got small again. Is you still working out? What's going on? And the doctor told me that she had colon cancer and that she's been dealing with this for a couple of years and had refused to get a biopsy. When they first told her, they saw a big mass and they thought it was cancer. She refused to get a biopsy so they could verify it, and it was the blood of Jesus. It was like Maurice said, by his stripes I am healed, all that. And I don't knock religious people for believing, because I believe in God too. But that was my situation. And I just want to put that out there because I know other people go through that, because once I told my story to some people, other people would tell me the same thing. My uncle, my grandpa, my mom, they had cancer. They wouldn't tell nobody. They believed in God. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to knock people from believing in God and believing in miracles, because miracles still happen. But this is just my experience. And once I found out she was had cancer, the doctor said we removed the big mass, but because she wouldn't let us do it like a year or so ago, it spread it to her liver. And so now she has stage 4 colon cancer. And she literally had, they gave her, I think they gave her 3 weeks or something. And yeah, it was less than a month. They gave her 3 weeks, and I think she went like 2 weeks. I think she went like 2 weeks more from the time they gave her. Mm-hmm. But it was devastating because we had no time to digest it, and we had no time to grieve. It was just, okay, what we gonna do now? They put her on bed rest. They put her on hospice, and that's where it was for the next few weeks. We just, tended to her. One of my brothers, he had just got hired on a job. He declined the job so he could be with mom, when I couldn't be there because of my job. And my dad would be there at night. My other brother would be there overnight. So we took turns, taking care of her. But one thing I say with Maurice, no matter how your parent died, whether you know it's coming or whether you don't know it's coming, whether it's a murder, whether it's so hard with a parent. So I sympathize and I empathize with you.
To me,
and
I ain't never had it yet.
I will keep you in my your family, in your prayers, real stuff. I will keep you in my prayers because it's nothing like losing your mom. It's like nothing like losing your mom.
Because I saw my mom that morning.
Yeah, her mom. You want to tell your experience?
I normally went to her car, but I woke up late from work. And she used to be take care of my son, take him to school and stuff like that. My oldest was just with him then. And so normally I walk to the car, like I always do. But that morning, she just threw her hand out the window like this, and then, I figured always, you're going to see them later, whatever. Mm-hmm. And, she must have said something, but I remember her hand going out the window, and she must have told me to just go head on and send him down the sidewalk. Because I would have took him, because I'd have been late before, too. But that
was
morning,
Marcel, right? Your
oldest son? My oldest son, yeah. And so, they left, and I remember seeing a red car go down the hill, and I went on and got ready, went to work, and then I got the phone call, and was like, she was in a car accident, and my son and my niece is in the car too. So I'm working a little ways from home, and then once we get to my sister's house, the street was blocked off. We had to go a certain kind of way, and you get that feeling. And the man that was taking us up to the hospital, he said the kid's okay, but the lady didn't make it. And I ain't never heard that voice in my mind. It was like I knew I was talking, but it seemed like I was talking soft. And I was like, don't say that, because that lady was my mom. And the man, I ain't never ever looked at a man's face and seen that somebody felt so bad. And he was so, I ain't never had an apology, like that from somebody in my life ever since then. That man really hurt. I'm sure he heard it after he dropped me, my cousin off. He was like, well, sometimes everybody knows what they're talking about, but that's just what people say. He's like, no, he was like, but I said, you know what? I already knew. I just really wanted to get to the hospital. That's all. I already had a feeling, and he verified it, but I think he didn't know that actually had her daughter in the car.
Right.
But I ain't never in my life, and I told him, I wasn't mad at him. I didn't feel no type of way. I just wanted to go, and he was doing the service that we call a jitney, and he was doing. That's why it was the way he made his money. And I guess, he was like, well, go ahead or whatever. He didn't charge
And for
nothing.
those of y'all who don't know, a jitney is a cheap cab driver in the hood.
It's a bougie Uber for the ghetto. But we loved them and they got us around.
Thank you. But go ahead.
For time even after my mother passed, that used to be not the same man, but that used to be my way to get us around. You
ain't talking about what's
not
his name?
Stickums. No, it was another man that took us.
Move.
But Stickums used to be the one that if I had to go somewhere in the middle of the night, because my mother used to take me everywhere. And I used to use her car for everything.
That's how far back we go. I knew her and her mom because me and her brother used to go to school together. So that's how I met Sam.
Yeah. And
their mom and stuff. And their mom was like cool as heck. So when we found out about it, like, it was like heavy on a lot of people because their mom was cool as heck. And then, her brother was pretty well known around the city. He played basketball, he played sports. And so, it was really heavy on a lot of people when we found out about the car wreck. And it was...
The one thing is, I've learned to live with it, and I'm sure that some people can, some can't. But I learned to live with it I won't say I'm not angry. I was for a while.
From the drunk driver? Yeah.
What it was is, my mom was going down, and he was coming up the street. And he was trying to pass a blunt to his friend in the back seat.
And took his eyes off the road.
Mm-hmm.
To pass a blunt.
Center lane, yeah.
To pass a blunt.
And do I have a problem with people that smoke weed or do anything with that sort? Nope. Because you know what, though? My mom lived a good life. She left us in a good position. She always told us, if you want something, go out there and get it. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Don't nobody owe you nothing. Just remember, what do you do something, make sure that you feel right. Your heart. If your heart ain't right, then you know it ain't right. Mm-hmm. And one thing I say is to Maurice, whether it be 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 hours, 2 years, it could be 20 years. Your mother that left you, it was time, and when nobody was gonna be able to do anything about it, is how I took it. Yeah. But with your mom, I did not know her. I don't know you, but I always say I learned to give it to God because I was drinking really bad after Mom passed away. And then one night I said, you know what, Lord, I'm tired of drinking. And I said, my mom would not want me to turn to no alcoholic or nothing like that. And I said, tonight I want to go to sleep. Just go to sleep. And I want my son to be able to come home, because then when the drinking was going on, I was always with my sister and my daddy. I said, I want my son to come home. I want us to go to bed tonight. I remember we ate. I don't remember what it was, but I remember we sat in the living room. We ate. We went upstairs, and they separated from me forever. But anyway, we went upstairs, y'all, and we went to bed. And I don't know about him, but I remember if he used to wake up, he used to wake me up, especially after she passed. So I'm gonna say that he slept the whole night, but they say he slept like a newborn baby. Mm-hmm. What they say, washed, fed, and dried. That's how I slept. I woke up the next morning and
like a newborn baby.
But yeah, I didn't get up that night at all. And I was like, because I said my mom would not want me to drink myself like that. I mean, drinking. Not just 1 or 2 for it. I was just drinking the gin and all that stuff. I said, I was tired and I wanted to go to bed. That's why I said, you know what? If you ask them, you shall receive. And I'm still gonna stick to that one.
I want to go to heaven one day too, Roxanne. Shoot. I'm like, seriously, shoot, I want to go to heaven. I want to see my mama. I want to see my grandpa, my grandma, my great grandma, my great great. One thing about it is as far as like, when we come back to the child support, I know this, like I said, this the hood table. I done said that before. This the hood table. In the hood, you don't never know what's going to happen any day in the hood, and we both from the hood, like from the hood. Okay,
and ain't ashamed.
and ain't ashamed of it. We done saw people get killed, drive-bys. I mean,
baby
drug
being
dealers.
born.
we from the
We
hood.
done seen it all.
And we survived the hood, and it's technically speaking, I think I'm still in the hood. A lot of people.
I thought we
I'm
moved
still
up
in
like
the
Georgia
hood.
and Weezy, but we down there still look in certain areas. Cause I say
Sure.
it ain't about how it look or what goes on, because the hood is everywhere.
It's how you make it.
That you ghetto and all that stuff. No, that's not it. And one thing
we is not ghetto. We is not ghetto. We might be hood, but we ain't ghetto.
A little.
Now you can take me there.
It's high.
Hold up, Sam. You can take us there. What happened tonight when we was at the gas station? Man. You can take us there. Have you ever been at the gas station and you sitting behind people waiting on the gas pump? And what was they doing? They up there lollygagging.
Talking to the next car.
We up here thinking, oh, okay, they're going to eventually pump the gas. They're going to eventually go in the store. They're going to eventually buy the gas. They're going to eventually come back and pump the gas. They up there lollygagging, going from car to car. All the gas pumps is taken. So it's like, what's going on? Why ain't nobody pumping gas? Why is we still here? Samantha, I had to roll this window down and cuss that. I'm like, Sam.
And then I was
Sam,
like, no.
let's just go to the other. Let's go to the other lot. Let's go. Let's go to the other side, to the other pump.
I found out why we had to go to the other pump too, because we had to watch this man's car. The Lord didn't want his car to be stolen today. With his tight shorts, he didn't want tight shorts to be walking and catch a cramp, then bend over to rub his leg and bust his shorts loose. Who pulls up at the gas station?
Breathe. Hold up, I can't breathe. No.
You tell him dead.
Honestly, okay.
You saw it. I saw that.
Why Samantha was outside the car when we finally was able to pump the gas.
Thank you,
Till
Lord.
people start moving around and taking their butts home from chilling at the gas pumps like they was in their driveway.
Say that.
But when Sam was outside the car pumping gas, and I hope this guy ain't watching. But hope he never crossed our YouTube channel. But when she was out there pumping, I'm up here chilling, playing with my phone in the passenger side. And I look over, a car pulls up. And I'm like, dang, this dude is cute. And if y'all don't know me by now, I like them dark. Like I like come on now, I like all brothers. But I'm just saying. You see the color of my hair? You see the color of my shirt? Do you see my stove back there? My stove top? I like them black. I like them dark. This dude pulled up and he was looking all nice, dark, and juicy. And I'm like, he was looking, I'm telling you, he was looking nice, dark, and juicy. He gets out the car.
And the shorts was tight.
He gets out the car. And he gets out the car, and now mind you, Sam ain't paying attention because she's on the other side of the car pumping the gas, and I'm on the passenger side looking at this dude like, ooh, he kind of cute. So he gets out the car, and I'm like, oh, he tall too. Why he shut the door but didn't shut it all the way? He like shut it like to where you can like reach your fingers in and pull the door open. So I assumed that maybe he was having some door issues. But the way he parked up next to us, instead of parking anywhere else in that parking lot, it was like he gave me this look like as if like, okay, I'm parking my car here. Like he was looking me over, like to see if he can trust me, because he left his car like ajar. And I'm looking like, this fool just left. He just walked away. His music was on. Mm-hmm. His keys was running. I didn't understand it because I couldn't do that. I ain't leaving my car running. But anywho, he started walking away and I saw them shorts.
When he was coming back, I was like...
I said, Samantha!
It's
Samantha! Now, mind you, her door was shut.
If the wind was at least the wrong way, all the scene gonna be gonna just open like the Grand Canyon.
All the doors on her side, on the driver's side, was shut, and I had my door open. And I was like, I'm trying to yell out the car so she can hear me on the other side. Like, Samantha, she didn't hear me. I'm banging on her window, on the driver window. Samantha, she finally looks over. By then, he done went in the store. And she opened the door.
When he came out.
She opened the door. I said, Samantha, this dude left his car door open. And she was like, well, shoot. So if I go over there and jack his car, he can't even get mad. I said, Samantha, we can't jack his car. And then I told her about the shorts. I told her about the shorts. And he comes out the door as soon as I'm telling her about the shorts. I'm like, look, Samantha, look. Them shorts was so tight. They was cotton.
That's what I was about to say.
They was cotton, like the jogging pants material, but they were super tight. They were like super tight, and I'm like, what the? I mean, it was so funny. I'm like, and then he comes out with a cup of ice water. He came out the store with a cup of ice water, and so we up here cracking up and laughing at him while he walking to us. And so, to me, in order to break the laugh, because he looking dead at me, and I can't even. I'm just like, hi. So I said, what you got in that cup? I said, what you got in that drink? What you got in there? What's in that cup? He said, nothing but some ice water. I'm like, okay. He jumped in his car, slammed the door shut,
and I was hoping to jump down too hard before I bust on the seam loop.
Those shorts was so small and tight. I was like, y'all just had to be there. I was hollering.
He was straight from the chest up.
From the waist up. He was cool. But when I saw those shorts, and they was like 5 inches above the knee.
Hey, what they call it when at school? When they say your shorts have to be a certain
amount. They gotta be.
He got sent home from school.
They gotta be at least 4 inches because I used to go to Christian school for junior high, and they always made us wear I was a tomboy then, so I wore shorts underneath my my little outfit for the Christian school because they use like a identification card. They use your identification, like your driver's license, and they would put it at the top of your kneecap. And basically, if your skirt was below the kneecap, because we didn't have like uniforms, we just had like certain type of clothes we could wear. And if we wore skirts, they would have to be like, they couldn't be below the below the identification, your driver's license. So them shorts was well above the driver's license. No, she don't got her driver's license on my knee, trying to figure out how far up it's supposed to. Now you was probably wearing mini skirts, little hot tail. But see, I was a tomboy. So even in church, my mom, she would make me wear a dress, but I had shorts underneath. Or I would have like leggings or something like that. And it got to the point where she realized that I was not going to wear no skirts and stuff without something underneath. So she started buying me skirts. I was in heaven.
I was in heaven. I was wearing them though.
When she bought me my first skirt, I was in heaven. I was like, oh my God, it looks like a skirt in the front, but it got shorts in the back. And if I had to knock somebody out today, that
wasn't
because it was like
it wasn't no doggone boxing uniform.
I was a tomboy. So after school, what I literally did after school, I would take off my clothes, get dressed in my shorts and t-shirt and my tennis shoes, and I would head for the basketball court. I was a tomboy. If I wasn't heading to the basketball court, I was heading to the alley where we played football and soccer. I was a tomboy. So she knew. She started buying me skirts, and I was in heaven. I was like, because the back, okay, you know how to be in church. Be in church and you can't cross your legs, right? Because I would sit like a boy. And my mom be like, close your legs. And I'll be like, okay. And I close my legs. Next thing I know, my hand over the seat, sitting just like the dude next to me. With my legs open. And my mom be like, okay, I got something for you. And that's when she started buying me skirts. And I was in heaven. I was like, ooh, and they cute. They got the shorts in the back. And I'm telling you, I was such a tomboy. I used to fight in church. I used to fight on the church bus. I used to fight at the Christian school. I used to fight in the neighborhood.
At the Christian school?
It was like the Christian school that we went to. Swore to the Spirit.
Why you at the school fight?
Because it was just, if people mess with you.
At the school, though, Mother Teresa.
I said earlier on my live, on my last live, I done said this plenty of times. I never mess with anybody. Never. I never mess with anybody.
Sure, we used to
I'm
mess
the same kind of person you see right now, where I'm laughing and I'm giggly and I'm friendly, and that has always been me. But growing up in the hood, you always got somebody testing your gangsta. And we, the way we grew up, we lived in the hood. We didn't have a lot. So when I was younger, everything that I had came from like the Goodwill, from the thrift store, hand-me-down. So I always would have some girl over here popping off, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. But I never been the kind of person to just run up on somebody or try to find trouble. People would always bring it to me. And I never had a problem backing down. So, no, I never forget. Let me tell y'all a little story. You know, on the hood table, we always tell you real life stories. From growing up in the hood. I used to fight a lot. I said that already. But I never started trouble. One time.
Me neither.
I was in church. Now, the person that I got into it with is my dear, 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 dear friend. Not Sam, but my dear, 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 dear friend right now. To this day, we are like sisters from another mister. Like me and Sam, like sisters from another mister. We are really close. Mm-hmm. But back then, it was different. And, excuse me. And I hope I wonder if D might come into the chat, Dorcas, Demetria. Because it's a funny story. We went to church a lot. And we used to always have revivals. Mm-hmm. And we used to always have tent revivals. And this particular summer, we had a tent revival. And I think I was approximately, I want to say 15. I want to say I was about 15. Yeah, I think I was about 15. And me and this little girl, she wasn't that much younger than me. She was a couple of years younger than me. And we was playing around. And we was like, just playing around, hitting each other, just playing around. And you know how little kids do? Sometimes when you're playing around with a little kid, they hit you hard, but you're not hitting them that hard. You're just playing around, boxing, just playing around. And this little girl started hitting me real hard. Not to where I can't take her where she knocking me out, but a little bit harder than she should be, because I'm not hitting you that hard. And I'm bigger than you and older than you. And I kept telling her, okay, it's time to stop now, because you either getting serious or you really want to fight. So that's one reason why I've never allowed my children, my sons, to play fight. They can tell you that. They're in the other room right now. They hear me talking. They will tell you, honest to God, I've never allowed them to play fight because of this particular reason. And so I kept telling her, quit hitting me. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm playing. I'm saying, she kept hitting me. Listen, I'm tired of playing. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm going to hurt you if you keep playing. Okay, she kept going. I hit her. And it was kind of hard. And so she went back, I'm going to tell my whoop-de-whoop. I'm going to tell my cousins. I'm going to tell my whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, whatever, girl, bye. Whatever, girl, bye.
They can get it.
All week during that revival, all week, I kept hearing all these people, Tanya, such and such supposed to beat you up. Such and such supposed to beat you up because you hit their cousin. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? What?
I hated them. Let's just do
and
it
I'm
now.
Like what?
Even though
and so I'm like, okay. So every night in church, I didn't tell my mom. Every night in church, I'm hearing, such supposed to beat you up. They supposed to beat you up. They want to fight you. They want to fight you. And I'm like, okay, I was always that person. Yes. I was always that person that never caused trouble. I was never that person that caused trouble. So I kept hearing it all week. And that person never came up to me. And never said anything to me. I see that person every night in the church tent revival, and they never did anything. So on the last day of the church service, we under a tent. My mother is an usher. So as ushers in our church, they ushered, and then at the end of the night, like all the drinks that the pastors had, or the guest pastors or whatever, all the cups, you know, they would wash the glasses, you know, kind of tidy up, you know, the pulpit, you know, stuff like that ushers do. And I walked up to the person that said that I kept hearing wanted to fight me. We in church. The tent is literally in the church parking lot, a few feet away from the church. So we in church.
You banned.
I walked up to the person and I was like, "What's up? I heard you wanted to fight me." And they was like, "Yeah, I did say that." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Yeah, I did say that." I'm like, they was like, "Okay." I said, "Well, let's take it over here in the parking lot." Mind you, I don't even want to fight this person, but I kept hearing they want to fight me, and I'm the kind of person that don't like to be caught off guard. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, do you want to fight me? Is that what you said? Like, why you want to fight me? Yeah, I said it. I'm like, okay, let's go over here to the parking lot, and we can, you know, handle this in the parking lot. I turn around. Next thing I know, all my friends are screaming, "Tanya, watch out! Tanya, watch out!" The girl done jumped on my back like a frog. Done jumped on my back. So we started fighting under the tent. And basically, people was trying to pull us off each other. And, you know, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. When they went inside the church, in the basement, or not in the basement, but in the kitchen or whatever in the church, to tell my mom, "Your daughter's outside fighting." Let me tell you what kind of relationship me and my mother had. They was like, "Your daughter's outside fighting. You need to come get your daughter." She turned and looked at them like, "Okay, where are her brothers?" They was like, "They outside." And my mom was like, "Okay." She continued to do what she was doing. Washing dishes, cleaning up. My mother did not lift one finger to come outside, because that's how well my mother knew me. When I would get into fights, whether it was at home, at the bus stop, at the basketball court, whatever, they would, "Your daughter's out there fighting again." Okay, where are her brothers? Make sure she don't get jumped. Because my mother had one experience with me, and my godmom had one experience with me where they tried to break up my fight, and I would black out. Like some people do. No, like for real. You be fighting and your adrenaline is going, and you cussing and you calling the other person names and F-U-B. You know what I'm saying? When you fighting and you in the zone and somebody try to break you up, oh, they getting it too. And my mother tried to break up one of my fights one time, and I accidentally kind of like, you know, that was it. Every time somebody told her after that, even when I was in the church and she was overly, superly religified, she still did not come out that church. She didn't come break up the fight. She was just like, "Are her brothers out there?" Because my brothers was always there to make sure, you know, everything was cool. Like, okay, they messing with sis. She ain't did nothing. We got her back. So, as far as, like, what I was saying earlier, as far as, like, picking on people, getting into it with people, tomboy, I used to fight a lot, but it was never me just walking up to somebody like some people do. "What's up? I don't like what you wear. I don't like how you look at me. I don't like how..." It was never that. It was never that. But I had my fair share of fights. And to this day, me and that girl that I fought under that tent, we are like this. I'm not lying. We are like this. My sons call her auntie. Her kids call me auntie. Every holiday we were at each other's house. We like that. So
our question is, y'all have to repent. That's what me and Roxanne.
No, I never did repent. I never did repent. Roxanne, no, I didn't repent. I was a child. And you know what was the funniest part about that story?
Oh, yeah.
Was my godmom, who also went to the church. Her daughters was the ones who was like, Tanya, watch out. You know, when the girl came behind me and jumped on me, and it was too late because she was already on my back. And she was out there trying to help break up the fight, and she kept slapping me in my mouth. It was like this. You bitch, I'm gonna kick your motherfucking ass. That's how it went. My godmom was slapping me in my mouth because my curse game is off the charts, y'all. Mm-mm. I can make up curse words and all that kind of stuff. I was in the church.
That's why I said Lucifer did take over.
I was in the church and the devil took over my flesh. But see, I be in a zone. I'm just trying to say I be at the zone. And my mom, the relationship that we had, she knew that zone, and she was just like, okay, who's out there with her? Who is her brothers out there? And I never forget, and I swear we talk about this all the time. We talk about this all the time because I was cursing. We was preachers trying to break us up. I mean, when I say we was fighting under that tent, I say we was knocking over chairs. We about to tear the whole tent down. The tent was blue. The tent was blue and white.
What they call that?
The tent was blue and white. This tent was blue and white. I'll never forget. Chairs was all over the place. People was trying to break us up. Guys and pastors, and we was scrapping.
What they call that stuff y'all was at?
We was scrapping. And when they was trying to pull me apart, I was cussing. I was calling this child every name in the book, and my godmom up there just flapping me in my lips. Stop, Tanya! You can't say that in church! Then shut up, girl! You can't say that in church! You can't curse in church! I'm like, no, fuck that! I don't give a fuck about that bitch! I'm gonna take her mother! I will never forget that!
That was crazy.
Because the next day, my lips was sore as hell. And I would never forget that.
What they call that thing?
You know the church down the street behind the store. You know the car wash over there behind the car wash right here on the next block. It used to be a furniture store right off the interstate, right off of Sorensen.
Oh, yeah.
That car wash right there, in that building right behind the car wash, that was our church. It's still there. It's just old and it needs to be tore down because it ain't been a church in a long time. But right there.
Everybody goes to Metro?
No, the car wash right here behind Cubby's. On the way up to the Redmond apartments.
Oh, okay.
That car wash right there, the building right behind it. That used to be our church. That used to be our church. It was that parking lot. That parking lot is like 2 blocks away.
What they call that thing the last week? What you say y'all was at?
What?
A revival. That's it.
Girl, and it was the last night. It was the last night of revival, and we was scrapping. When I say we was scrapping, we was scrapping. They was trying to pull us apart. And that's why I say my mama started buying me skirts. Because they were more... she wouldn't have to worry about nothing flying up in the air. Nothing, because I used
recently they called in Texas. They called it moving furniture.
We was moving furniture. Man, but I swear that lady, I love her to death. When we became friends, it was when she had her first son and I had my first son, and we started going back to the same church where we had got into it at, and we just somehow it was us growing up and us having kids. And we've been tight ever since. We've been tight ever since. And I would do anything for her and vice versa. And bet not nobody mess with her. Bet not nobody mess with her. But yeah, we was scrapping. But yeah. Roxanne said you literally tore it up from the floor. Man, we got so many stories. like I said, this the hood table. In the hood, you never know what happened in the hood from day to day. When you wake up in the morning in the hood, all kind of mess could happen. And this is kind of how our channel is. We can start right here and end up over here. And we always going to give you a story from the hood, a tales from the hood every time.
Right.
Every time. But you guys have been great. She said Lucifer took over.
Roxanne, so
Lucifer took over. I'm not that person anymore. I swear. I haven't been that person anymore. Like me, back then, I would fight if somebody approached me with wanting to fight. You know, if you talk behind my back, I didn't really care. But that night in church, I was like, all week long, this girl want to fight you. This girl want to fight you. This girl said she gonna do this. This girl. I'm like, we in the same church. We in the same choir. Because I used to be in the church choir, and she did too. So we in the same choir. We had choir rehearsal together, and I keep hearing this girl want to fight me. I'm like, so I just walked up to her, and it was more like, I heard you want to fight me. Is that true? Like, why you want to fight me? Because of something that happened between me and your little cousin? Come on, why you want to fight me? She said, yeah, I said I wanted to fight you. Okay. Well, there's plenty of space and opportunity right over here in the parking lot outside the tent.
She had the part section. I was you gonna fight at over here.
We didn't quite make it to the parking lot, but anywho.
All right.
But yeah. So anywho, back to the kids. I try to teach my kids that if you can walk away, walk away. Mm-hmm. If people bumping their gums behind your back, you just hearing, just hearing it in your ear. It ain't always where you have to approach the subject and get into an altercation. Sometimes you just gotta walk away. Because one thing about it, today ain't yesterday. Back in the day, we could fight 5 times a day, wake up the next day and fight 5 more times, and you go about your business. Nowadays, like Remy Ma and Brittany Taylor got knocked out by somebody. She claimed Remy Ma did it, but Remy Ma claimed she was at home the whole time during that event. So I don't know what's going on. I did a live on it earlier on my Tanya's Primetime TV channel. So y'all over here on the hood table, if y'all ain't subscribed to my other channel, Tanya's Primetime TV, TANYAS Primetime, all one word, TV media reviews. I did a live on that earlier. Remy Ma had to go to jail. She had to turn herself in. She had to bond out. All this over some girl that's claimed she, punched her lights out.
So she didn't.
They said, her lawyer said Remy Ma got proved that she wasn't even at the event. And they said the girl was just clout chasing and trying to get a coin because she hired a civil lawyer immediately. Immediately she hired a civil lawyer. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I recorded that on my Tanya's Primetime TV channel, so check it out over there. But is there any closing points you want to make about this child support? No? Okay, well, I guess my closing points is pay that mother. What you say? Pay that mother.
Pay them.
Pay them. Pay them. No, but for real,
take care of your children if possible. If
take
not,
care of your children as much as you can.
Do the best job. Yeah.
If you can't pay the whole child support, do something.
Spend time.
Do something.
Spend time.
Time is way more valuable
than money.
Than a paycheck.
Yep. So
time
sometimes it's just going to get them from school. Stopping by for,
playing ball with them in the front yard.
Catch is the best.
Helping them with their homework. Talking to them about the birds and the bees, about girlfriends being they lending ear when they need something. Time is way more valuable than child support. Now, that don't mean, okay, I'll spend time with them and I ain't got to pay. No, that's not what that means. And as far as women, even if he doesn't pay, if that man is not violent, if he is not harm, if he doesn't bring harm to the child or you, don't keep the child away from the man if he owes you money. Because in the end, that child will grow up and be like, "Dang, mama, I didn't have no relationship with my father
because of money."
because
and it's
of
not that
money.
they owe you really. You know, that's where men got a problem with it, and I do too. When a woman or a man says somebody owe them the child support, they don't own the child support. You know, it's for the kid. But like I said, if they can't pay, try to do something to make it where you can. But if you can't pay, you just ain't got the money, or you just can't get a job at the time. Spend time with them. Go by, like she said, help with her homework. You know, play ball. Sit on the steps. Sometimes tell them about you.
Go to their activities, to their extracurricular activities, to their basketball, football, wrestling, track, whatever. Musical event. Just be there. Be there. Money is important. It does take money to raise a child. But
right.
that precious one-on-one time, that bond, there is no way. If I have to do this all over again, I do it the same way. I never kept my children away from their father. Never. It didn't matter if they owed $1 or $1,000. Never, ever. I was the one. Come and get them. Hey, your daddy coming. And they all excited. Yeah, daddy coming. They never knew anything about finances. They never knew that mom was working 2 jobs, because of what she wasn't getting from the other. They never knew that. They just knew mom was a hard worker. That's what they knew when they was younger. As far as you women, you greedy
get your
women,
eyelashes done.
you greedy women, or you selfish women that go out there and get child support, but the child sees like 1% of it. Come on now, come on, sis.
And that's them getting the card for you to go swipe it for yourself. But they about to stop that. They did say that. They said that they was going to put limitations on what them cards can buy. And a lot of times...
They already have. With certain things. Okay, they started with the... they started with the stamps.
So
and they started with the stamps, and they started with the welfare, and they started... But they're continually making changes to try to ensure that women... are not just going out there just partying off the money, just, things like that. But men, if you have a great woman that you were with and y'all broke up for whatever reason and she's a great mother,
y'all try to come to an agreement where,
don't trip when you got to pay that child support. Because if you had a great woman and she's a great parent, you should already know that she is not going to abuse the child support system. That she is going to work as hard as you can and make sure you and your child stay in each other's lives. So,
I'm always the type.
Go ahead, Sam.
I'm sorry. I'm always the one I say about keeping them away from the after parent or whatever it is. Don't do that. And if you got several kids, like different moms, dads, or whatever, for real, if you trust that person enough and they really can't, sometimes you know what? I never had to do it, but with my youngest son, his grandma used to tell me all the time, if you need me to keep an eye on the other one, I will. But I used to just joke and say, don't ever get up and lie and tell my son that I stopped you from picking him up, because you could have took the other one. I got a couple nieces and nephews. I could have called up and their mamas and they probably sent them with you too. So don't ever think that, sometimes we think that, they owe us the money. I think it's a courtesy on behalf of doing a part, on anybody's part of doing your, I feel like it's a courtesy that they able to even give you anything. Some people don't ever do anything for their children, but I feel like on that level, just because we really don't know each other's situation after we depart or whatever, but don't keep your kids away from the other parents.
I just hate that.
Don't do that. And grandparents, they hurt more than anything. And I'm telling y'all something, and I'm going to leave it at that with me about this. I told my son's baby mom, or whatever they're doing over there, I said the first time, and I told this before my grandson was born, and I love him to pieces. He's special, but he mine. But I tell you what I did, and I'm serious. I said, the first time I get that call, or that whatever, you talking about I can't see him, and Yeah, and it's and that. I said that's the first and the last time.
It's on
You ain't got to worry about
popping.
me no more. Then you can say what you want to about me, and that's what any of them futures. And I pray my son to stay with her because I really think that's a good thing.
That's why they have grandparent laws.
Yeah, because if you threaten me and tell me something, oh, you can't see the kid.
My son already know. I told my sons before, if y'all do wrong by y'all kids, and y'all don't take care of y'all kids, and y'all be dead big guys, I'm disowning y'all. I'm disowning y'all because I ain't raised y'all like that, and y'all saw how hard that I worked to raise y'all, take care of y'all, and provide and make sure y'all had everything y'all needed, from the expensive tennis shoes to payments for football camp, basketball camp. I mean, prom, homecoming, school clothes,
school lunches,
school lunches. Oh my God!
that you didn't eat.
My
and
son,
they want to talk about child support.
My son, youngest son, hit me up the other day, calling me from school. Mom, I need some more lunch money. I'm like, okay, hold on. God dang, ain't you out of school yet? You need to hurry up and graduate. Because I was like, okay, hold on. Let me transfer some money into your student account. I've been paying school lunches for so long. I'm like, oh my God, that is one bill that I'm gonna be glad gonna be gone.
To the new thing.
It's like $1 something, $1.50.
I don't know what I was paying for so long. That could have been.
I'm like, girl, I mean, it ain't like a humongous amount, but it's like $40 a month. And it's like, not a humongous amount, but come on. I think kids should eat free.
One thing the school
I think all kids should eat free.
and let them share it. It ain't all that, because I'm sorry.
No, they don't even be wanting the kids to share their lunch.
Dry looking stuff. Go on and put some water up on it.
Girl.
Put the whole holes up on it.
The thing that I used to love the most from lunch, from school, was the pizza. And the Salisbury steaks.
I ain't like them.
And the tacos. Everything else could
go.
You
talking about that round brown looking thing?
Yeah, the round with the gravy.
It was alright. It was alright. But mine was the when it was
those Salisbury steaks was fire, and you can get them at Aldi's. They in that. You can get them at Aldi's.
What's that one? And it was like turkey.
The nacho nachos. Oh, you talking about the
they
turkey?
had no nacho when I went to school.
They had nacho machos when I was in school. Yes. You ain't that older than me. You know, we had nacho machos. It was basically nachos with some chips and hamburger. Nacho machos. That's what we call them.
Nacho when I went to school. You know, I eat the heck out of I eat a nacho up.
Okay, remember the ribs? Remember the riblets? Like the McDonald's?
Yeah.
But
no, they did have that.
They tasted better than them McDonald's riblet things. Is horrible. They horrible. The McRibs, they horrible. That ain't no McRib. That ain't no McChicken. That ain't no McMeat. I don't know what that is. It's a mix-up-a-call it. It's a mix-up-a-call it. I don't know what you call it. I don't know what it is. But that one in school, that riblet, they had a little broccoli on the side. Girl.
What about that one though? Remember, it used to be they give you the gravy, the
turkey with the mashed potatoes and gravy,
and it was chunks of it.
Yes, that was fire. That was
that was good.
Some of the stuff they made.
And then the one they gave us sausage and eggs with some of that what's that?
That runny eggs.
No, we had eggs that was made from and they
was made from that powder. And stuff.
Yeah,
it was the commodity eggs.
That's some eggs.
Yeah, and I know all about the commodity eggs because we was on commodity and wick and the cheese and butter.
They used to give us some sausage.
With
the butter bread.
That's right. That make the best cheese toast sandwiches. I want that cheese, the one that molded.
I don't even like
almost before you even had it. It molded like in a week, but you would just cut it off. Cheese. You cut that government cheese off, and you cut that mold off that government cheese.
That's the best macaroni and cheese in the world.
Girl, you throw that stuff in the oven, underneath the oven in the broiler part.
Now that bang, that's some good stuff. Now I'm hungry.
Oh, you said Roxanne said the lunch looks like that crap today.
It looked like it needs some water up on it.
Roxanne said in Hawaii there was no such thing as grandparents. I didn't know. Oh, she said, no, my bad. Roxanne, I read it wrong. She said there was no such thing as grandparents law in Hawaii. And I hope they change that, because I would be one of those grandparents that will take you to court if I can't see my grandbabies. And my sons know how I love my babies, my little nieces and nephews, and they ain't even think about kids. They ain't even think about kids. They ain't got kids on their radar. And I be like, when you decide to have some, I want like 4, 5 from you. I want about 3, 4 from you. And they looking at me like, we ain't trying to have kids, Mom. What part of that don't you understand? You be lucky if you get one. I'll be like, one?
I'm cool on it with the one.
I guess I would have to be cool.
My nerves got shot with that.
But I don't know. I want several.
Stop messing. Get down.
I want
I said
several.
get down. He ain't doing that.
What did I tell you? When I said, me and Sam just talked about this like last week. I said when I have my grandbabies, they gonna have their own area in the house so they can tear it up. Because I remember when my mom was alive, and my sons would go over her house, and oh Lord, she had them like secluded in this little area, and they don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that wet knot, don't touch that glass, don't touch that. Tanya, get your son, he touching my. I mean, she had a lot of fragile stuff in her, and I think that's why I never got into that kind of stuff. Like, as long as you know me, have you ever seen a wet knot in my house?
Oh.
A wet knot? A glass, anything like glass angels or glass?
I used to have all that stuff.
Babies
I
or
got rid of it because I was like, I ain't doing all that Saturday morning. You can't
you
go
gotta dust and clean off all that
wash
stuff.
the glasses in the sink and the hell, no, never mind.
Yep.
Bye. Miss me.
I grew up my mother's house. Oh my God, you would think I'm like I said. I used to ask my mom, "Are you sure I didn't get switched at birth?" Because her house would be just so. I mean, all this bling bling glass and all this wet dots and all kind of stuff all over the place.
Not my
and me, I'm good with my couch, my love seat, my chairs, my pictures on the wall, my little trees here and there. I've never been the kind to buy all them little things and put them all over the house and everywhere, because when we were little, we would get in trouble all the time. Don't touch that. You broke that. You're getting in trouble. Yeah. Then when my kids came along, they went through the same thing. So I just was like, no.
Nobody want to touch that.
Ain't nothing on my. Let me look at my table.
If I got some candles,
it's some candles on my coffee tables.
And that's
I think it's some picture frames, but stuff like the candle. Hey, get the big lighter, the grill lighter. You gotta have some grill lighters if you don't smoke, because we don't smoke. You gotta have your grill lighters and some candles. So I'm always gonna have candles. That's like. I love candles. Most people, if they buy me a gift, they know candles will just do it for me. It'll just do it for me. But anyway, we've been on here. How long? Oh my God. We've been on here like 2.5 hours. Because we did one live and then it got interrupted because of the internet and tripping, and then we came back. Girl, it's 10:36 and I gotta be at work tomorrow. You gotta be at work tomorrow. So anyway, y'all, we're gonna wrap this up. But it was fun. It was real. It was fun. We kept it hood from y'all tonight. As usual, we keeps it hood. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I hope you both of the lives. I'm gonna title it Part 1 and Part 2, since the internet was tripping.
Roxanne was right.
You said Roxanne?
Thank you for watching, Roxanne. I want to tell you that you was right. Dust collectors, like a mug, whatnot, and all that.
Whatnots, that's what they call them.
God, I couldn't stand them.
And I was like, why they call them whatnots? But yeah,
they
all they did was collect
dust. Dorm house, I mean.
She said what knots mean why not they at somebody else's house.
I hate a Saturday morning. And then my people had a bed. They put both sides of the sink
up. It is
up.
old school, Maurice. That's old school. I'm telling you.
I want that.
I don't have, and I had actually reached out to someone to help me do my interior decorating because I like the idea of interior decorating and all kind of different colors and all that. But I'm a plain Jane when it comes to stuff like that because I don't want to do too much. You know, I don't want to do too much like, you know, what I grew up with. So I always kind of kept it plain Jane. It looks nice. It's just not overly like in your face decorations. So I had reached out to somebody and they was like, well, I have this in mind, I have that in mind. I said, as long as I don't have trinkets all over the house, I cannot do the trinkets. I'm sorry. I can't. The karaoke cabinet with 50,000 pieces in there and you gotta continually dust and use Glade and all that. No.
In both living rooms.
No.
Big ones too.
I ain't for all that. I ain't for all that mess.
I used to hide stuff up in them though. I used to like to hide stuff we know we're supposed to have up in there. So if they found it, they didn't know who it belonged to.
I remember my one good friend, and I love her to death. So if she's watching, please forgive me. I won't say your name. But I remember my one friend had a stepdad, and he loved elephant designs and pieces and stuff like that. I swear to God, they had like 500 elephants in the house. Like all over the place, in karaoke cabinets, up above the curtains, on the coffee tables, on the end tables, on the floor, big ones, little ones. I mean, just all in the kitchen, in the bathroom. I mean, it was like elephants. And then there's people who like angels. They the same way, or the people who like the little black babies. Oh, you know, the little black southern. What do you call them things? They be dressed up in old. Looking like old maids and the bonnets on their heads and looking like little slaves.
And they used to put it over the toilet paper. Toilet paper and vacuum covers.
It'd be like hundreds of them all over the house. I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, y'all, we about to get out of here. We both got to get up early in the morning. So we really, really appreciate you guys. Look at Sam over here yawning. She about to fall asleep on us, y'all. But she did work today. What's today again? Friday? We both worked today. But yeah, I don't know. I got a little bit more energy. But still, we both need to get our rest. Because we both got to be at work tomorrow. And maybe we'll go see a movie this weekend. Maybe. Sunday, maybe. Or Monday, or...
I don't know. I have to look. I think I got 3.
Well, I'll tell y'all one thing. We gonna go see Intruder with Megan Good. I think that's her name.
And
Megan Good. And Michael Ealy. Michael Ealy, y'all. Y'all go see that movie. You know we do the Sisters from Another Mr. movie review segment. Yep. So we are gonna go see that within the next week. Probably the next 4 or 5 days. And you guys make sure you check it out because we're going to come with y'all with a review. And we want to get y'all feedback on the movie and everything. So the review, though, won't be for like a week or 2 because we like to give people time to see a movie when it first come out. So it'll be like in 2 weeks when we do the review. So make sure y'all check out The Intruder. And in the meantime and in between time, Prime Time Squad, as usual, stay safe, be blessed, and we out. Deuces. Deuces up. Deuces up. Deuces up. Deuces up. Good night, y'all. Enjoy your evening.